What is the process for onboarding new employees? Hey friends, Josh here, founder of HR University. And in this video, I'll go ahead and discuss that process of ensuring that new hires you bring on to your company go through an effective process of becoming great employees. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for regular HR University updates. Now let's go ahead and dive right in. Onboarding is a process in which new employees gain the knowledge and skills they need to become an effective member of an organization. The right onboarding process can make a huge difference in long-term performance of a new employee and retention. So in essence, the onboarding process refers to getting a new hire on board and turning them into a top-notch company team member. Successful companies tend to work systematically during the onboarding process and cover all its angles. To kick off the onboarding process on the right foot, managers or HRs should have a neatly organized onboarding plan. And these plans are more like schedules and serve so new employees can become familiar with the company. The main benefits of a successful onboarding plan include sharing information about the company tasks, the relationships between tasks and their assigned experts, and tools to help employees optimize their daily duties. The process of recruiting a new hire into a top-notch team member of your company begins as soon as they accept the job. By onboarding them right, you show deep interest in their performance and role in your company. And suitable onboarding will boost the employee's confidence and help them build a healthy business relationship, as well as make more informed business decisions. And before we jump into the stages of onboarding, it's important to note that none of it is possible without the right paperwork signed. Here's the paperwork that you need employees to sign off on and other documents to help them get started. Please note that most of these forms and contract templates can be found via Google with a simple search. Prepare an employment contract and receive, sign, if applicable. You can send this contract along with your job offer, email, or letter. An employment contract should include job information, so that's job title, department that they're in, work schedule, length of employment, compensation and benefits, employee responsibilities, and termination conditions. Also, make sure you and new hires complete employment forms required by law. These forms will provide you with new hire data so that you can properly classify and compensate employees. The legislation may differ based on your state or country, so make sure you complete all necessary forms within deadlines. The most common types of employment forms to complete are W-4 form or the W-9 for contractors, the I-9 employment eligibility verification form, the state tax withholding form, direct deposit form, and make sure to also use the E-Verify system. This is not a form but a way to verify employee eligibility in the US. You should also prepare and obtain signatures on internal forms, and make sure to get signatures on forms your company uses to establish its relationship with employees. These can include non-compete agreements, non-disclosure agreements, employee invention forms, employee handbook acknowledgement forms, drug and/or alcohol test consent agreements, job analysis forms, so responsibilities, goals, and performance evaluation criteria, employee equipment inventory lists, and confidentiality and security agreements. Of course, you also want to prepare employee benefits documents. If you offer employee benefits, you'll need to give new hires paperwork that describes terms and conditions, and in some cases, receive them signed. The most common employee benefits are life and health insurance, mobile plan, company car, stock options, retirement plan, disability insurance, paid time off, vacation policies, including any paid holidays, sick leave, employee wellness perks, so example, gym memberships, and tuition reimbursement. One last part is to obtain employees' personal data for emergencies. To reinforce health and safety in the workplace, it's best to keep a record of employees' emergency contacts. So brief medical history and food allergies or preferences, and that may be vegan or gluten-free diets. And not surprisingly, with the number of things needed to make an onboarding successful, the importance of implementing an onboarding process into your company is backed by facts. The most critical times for a new company employee will be during their first day, first week, and all the way to their first trimester. For example, the first day is critical because it determines whether an employee will settle in the company straight away or need more help to bond with colleagues and adjust to the line of work. Now, the first week will include the new employee's enthusiasm and responsiveness to their environment. This is critical if the employee feels alone when doing their job, which can sadly lead to bad turnover rates. Finally, the first trimester is relevant to monitor because it indicates if an employee should stay in the company or not. Also, during this period, the new employee sets the working tone for their future obligations. The last component of the onboarding, although it's not really accepted by many, takes place on an employee's first anniversary. On their anniversary, the HR manager should sit down with the employee and discuss their future ideas and goals. So to monitor all this, an HR manager will need proper lists featuring all important points of the stage in question. And now let's examine how to approach the onboarding process professionally. Onboarding can be split into 4 stages, and each stage has its own requirements according to the employee's current progress in the company. These are the pre-onboarding stage, which is the introduction phase for the new employee. Then comes the first day stage, followed by the initial development and the employee evaluation stages. Let's start with the first stage, known as the pre-onboarding one. This stage happens when your candidate accepts the job and makes it through their first day. Now, what makes this stage important is the uncertainty factor. Most employees aren't certain during this period because they don't have a clear perspective on what the future holds for them. So during these uncertain times, even the smallest ounce of doubt, whether, let's say, from miscommunication or even misunderstanding, can change the mind of an employee, and it can even cause turnover. And so the motivation and excitement of the new employee will ultimately be crucial during this time, and if you don't get it right, it's going to go down the drain. So to avoid confusion or overwhelming your employee, all you have to do is keep your future employees posted about their future duties, their managing roles, and let them become more familiar with their work setting. Next, during the pre-onboarding stage, your duty is to help your employees with paperwork. More importantly, if your new hire just left a job position, give them enough time to wrap up the final tasks from their previous job. To successfully pass the pre-onboarding level, you can show some hospitality. For instance, check if the new hires need help relocating or finding a place to live. In terms of their work, you can create a PowerPoint presentation on their first visit, which can help them get introduced to their workflow. And finally, showing goodwill will definitely help you create a stronger bond with the employee, even if it is only their first day on the job. The second stage of onboarding begins on the employee's first day and lasts through the first week. During this stage, what HRs have to do is to help the new hire settle in the company. As soon as they step foot in the company, introduce them to your working culture, the workstations, and of course to the other employees. Ideally, studies have shown that during the first day, hosting a meet and greet day is the best way to get this done. A small staff meeting can help introduce your new hire to the current employee so that they won't feel lost. And most employees have problems when becoming part of the team, and they may even fear they'll be rejected. So to help them integrate better, consider hosting meet and greets, and next, you need to pay attention to the new employees' management duties. During their first day, try to integrate them into the company's daily flow. Also, try to explain their obligations in a very simple way. This way, new hires will have a clear perspective on when, how, and what they'll have to do. The next onboarding stage is the migration from a new hire position to a member of the company. This stage typically lasts for about 3 months. After you introduce the employee to the team and workflow, then they're ready to be integrated into the company in its entirety. Here, the job of an HR professional is to simply monitor the overall performance of the new hire. And this stage is crucial for any business because new employees can set their working tone, which then helps them and you to understand whether they're a solid fit for your company. And during this stage, the company should hold a meeting with its managers and ultimately encourage them to let the new hire find their way to an official position, as the position that they may have been hired for may not always be the best to match their skills, but they may be a very skilled employee and need a different type of match. So to meet that goal, HR professionals and managers must create a full-fledged plan at how they see their new employees succeeding. They can also see if their quality changes and if their productivity rate is satisfying. It's normal and expected for a new employee to make mistakes during their initial period at the company. And here, instead of harsh criticism, HR managers should help newbies find their way more easily. And once the first trimester ends, the first results will be in. To compare them, call a meeting with the new employee and the HR managers who helped onboard them. And the last stage of the onboarding process is the yearly employee evaluation. After a year spent at your company, your newest employees need to undergo another evaluation where you'll discuss their progress and their future goals and ambitions. Always ask your employee for feedback and let them share their opinion as well. The more confident they are with what they do, the more that they will contribute to your business. And there we have it. In this video, we covered the onboarding process for new employees. And if you enjoyed this video and you feel like you learned more about how to onboard employees in the best way possible, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like our video, and that way you can keep up to date with all of our HR content on how to become the best HR professional. And I'll go ahead and see you in some of our following videos. Cheers.